All right, we are going live with the stream.
Sorry, just testing my buzzer.
Yeah, do you want to test all the buzzers, Dan, or do you want to wait?
Yep. We'll do a quick run through here. Rupali's out ahead. I appreciate that, Rupali. Angelo, if you want to give a test buzz, please. Thank you. Okay, you guys are well out ahead of me. Hanisha?
I saw Hanisha.
Great.
How am I going to pronounce Skasara? Skasara? Help me out.
Yes, it's correct. Yeah, it's correct. Kasara.
Kasara. Okay.
Yeah.
And Julianne, test buzz? Thank you. Sam? And Mr. Kerr? Thank you. So buzzer looks good. As a reminder, Bob will also keep track of this. I'll keep track of the buzzer, as will Kathleen. If you have an issue, meaning the buzzer seems to be frozen or you feel like you buzzed in and it didn't take, after the question is finished, come off mute and let us know and we'll take a look. We have done some testing this year again. Everything seems fine, but it is a web-based app. So at any time, something could go wrong. Hopefully it does not. So any other technical issues, feel free to flag for me, whether Zoom or buzzer related, and Bob will take you through. So Bob, I believe this is all yours.
Okay. Hello, players, and hello, those of you watching at home or wherever you are at work. Welcome to match number 1 of TPT 2019. This is our Golden Jubilee. We've been doing this for 75 years. No, we haven't. It just seems like 75 years. I don't know how many years this is, but we are very, very happy to bring you another year of TPT with our fantastic buzzer and scoring system, our fantastic hosts, and our fantastic support staff. And thanks right off the bat to Dan Strafford and to Kathleen, who are our tech guru and scorekeeper respectively today. Most, if not all of you playing for match number 1 are brand new to TPT, although you may have been at Ethan's spring training. But let me just give you sort of the most important heads ups to remember. There is no consulting during the game with your teammates, with one exception, which I'll talk about in a moment. When I start to read a clue, you can buzz in at any time, but you cannot talk over the answer. In other words, with every clue, somebody is going out on a limb for their team. You are betting that you've got the answer and you're going to buzz in. You cannot consult. There's one exception, which I'll talk about shortly. We have a 2 buzz maximum per category rule. That means you're only allowed to buzz in. Doesn't matter whether you're right or wrong. You're only allowed to buzz in a total of twice, no more than twice per category. So in our first category, which will be called abbreviated magazines, you have to think about that category. Is it something you're strong in? Do you want to hold off till the bigger point clues? Or do you want to jump in and just get some skin in the game and some points on the roster? Each category goes from 1 to 5 points in that order. So if you buzz in a third time in any category, your team will lose those points. It's not even a warning kind of thing. It's just something that everybody has to respect. So your team will lose points if you buzz in more than 3 times. And we'll try to remind you that you hit 2, but we can't be sure. You have to rule yourself on that. We're going to use Jeopardy clues, but you do not have to answer in the form of a question. If you do, nobody will scorn or make fun of you. But if you don't, no harm, no foul. And as we are going to play Jeopardy rules in other respects, if you give only the last name, for instance, Kennedy, I might ask you more information because there are a lot of Kennedys. But, Paul VI would not need more identification. That would be adequate. Okay. So just be ready to give more information. You can give at least just the last name. Now, captains, oh, and by the way, everybody has to stay muted until I call on you. Please don't unmute until I call on you. And once you've responded, mute yourself again, okay? Takes a while to get the hang of it, but you'll be fine. We're very patient and understanding here. This is all for fun, and it's all for Kaplan esprit. So esprit disciplined, but esprit tolerant of each other and patient as well. When a team, no, scratch that. If a team happens to get a question wrong, the other team may consult. At that point, so let's say the red team gets a question wrong. The blue team, all of you, Agents of Freedom, should unmute and let us hear you conversing. You'll have about 10 seconds. Then we're going to take a tip from another show. I need Peter, who would be the captain of the blue team, I need you to say your response and the words final answer, because we're going to hear a lot of talking among the team, and the captain will give the final answer, okay? And Honisha, same with you. When the red team, when the blue team gets something wrong, Honisha, as the captain of Slam Dunk, will give the final answer, okay? Other than, and you know, if it's a steal situation, really everybody unmute. We like to hear the teams chatting away. It's fun for all participants. But that is the only consulting time, okay? No other consultation. Any questions? Everybody psyched? You all look so serious. This should be fun. You want to have that energy, that Kaplan energy rushing up. Okay, here we go. Oh, and one final tip, which is I'm taking the prerogative as Cabal member and host. Use the first round, the first 6 categories to get the feel of the buzzer. The teams that are aggressive but prudent on the buzzer seem to win. I think Dan and Kathleen will agree with me. And it takes a little while to get the feel of it. You may buzz in at any moment. You don't have to wait for me to finish the clue. Whenever you think you know the answer, buzz in. But, you know, be willing to make a few mistakes here and there in the first round. There's not many points at stake. The big points are after the commercial when we come back for the second round and the points are double. Okay, with that, happy to see all these smiling faces and serious faces too. Remember, no consulting, no using Wikipedia or anything. Here we go. Abbreviated magazines is the clue for 1 point. For the true outdoorsman, FAS. For the true outdoorsman, FAS. Julianne for the blue team. Unmute, please.
Field and stream.
Is correct. First blood to Agents of Freedom, 1 point. Abbreviated magazines for 2. Featuring pricing guides and reviews of the latest cars and trucks, MT. Feature Peter.
Motor Trend.
Motor Trend is correct. Another 2 points for Agents of Freedom 2. Here we go for 3 points. Abbreviated magazines. Hey y'all, for food, home, and travel from Texas to Florida and the states in between, SL. Sam.
Southern Living.
Southern Living is right. Another 3 points for Agents of Freedom. And each of you is only buzzed in once, so you have another buzzer chance. Red team, want to jump in as soon as you can. For 4 points, Abbreviated magazine. Eat, drink, and be merry. FAW. Eat, drink, and be merry. Sam.
Food and Wine.
Food and wine is right for 4 points, and Sam is out of that category. You will be welcome back in 1 clue from now, but Sam, don't you buzz in next. Here we go, everybody else, for 5 points. For exciting things parents and children can do together, Disney's FF. For exciting things parents and children can do together, Disney's FF. 5 seconds. Time. Dan, you have kids. You must know this one.
I don't, but my guess would be Family Fun. But
Family Fun is right. Family Fun, no points there. Okay. By the way, I will announce the score every 3 categories, so we don't weigh it down. Here we go. Our next category. This is when I was in high school. The 1870s. The 1870s. I remember them well. For 1 point. In 1873, This gun maker's company introduced its most popular revolver, the Peacemaker. In 1873, this gun maker's company introduced its most popular revolver, the Peacemaker. 5 seconds. Time. Dan, do you know? Kathleen?
I would guess Smith and Wesson.
That's what they guessed on the show, and that'd be wrong. It is Colt. Colt was the response. So if you didn't know, you are wise to not buzz in. Here we go for 2 points for the 1870s. On October 2nd, 1871, this Mormon leader was arrested for practicing polygamy. On October 2nd, 1871, this Mormon leader was arrested for practicing Phoenicia.
Who's young?
Brigham Young, very good. First blood to slam dunk, 2 points. Very good. For 3 points in the 1870s, in November 1873, this Tammany Hall politician was convicted on 204 fraud charges. In November 1873, this Tammany Hall politician was convicted on 204 fraud charges. 5 seconds. Time. Kathleen, Dan?
Boss Tweed.
William Marcy Boss Tweed is correct. Well done, sir. You got to get on a team. Okay, here we go for 4 points in the 1870s. On June 16th, 1870, this was dedicated in Atlantic City. At the end of the summer season, it was taken apart and stored. Rupali. Unmute, please. An answer?
The
I'm not
boardwalk.
hearing. Rupali?
The boardwalk.
That's right, the boardwalk. Correct. Once you've buzzed it, once I've responded to you, please everybody try to unmute quickly and give us the response. But the boardwalk is correct. Well done. Finally, in the 1870s for 5 points, on June 21st, 1877, 10 alleged members of this Irish secret society were hanged in Pennsylvania's largest mass execution. Phoenicia.
Who are the Maguires?
More information?
Molly Maguires.
The Molly Maguires. Very good. 5 points. Good job. And we'll go into our third category. This is one that I feel will be very popular, at least among the staff of the TPT. I've got a six-pack. I've got a six-pack. Here we go for 1 point. During Prohibition, this Budweiser maker brewed non-alcoholic beer and also made Bevo, a non-alcoholic cereal beverage. During Prohibition, this Budweiser maker brewed non-alcoholic beer and also made, Sam?
Bush. Anheuser-Busch.
Anheuser-Busch is correct, yes. Remember, teams, you don't have to wait for me to finish the clue. As soon as you think you know the answer, buzz in. Very well done so far. We have a tie score. I'll announce it at the end of the next, at this category. For 2 points in I've got a six-pack. The light beer from this brand is known as the Silver Bullet. The light beer from this, Peter.
Coors.
Coors is right for 2 points. I've got a six-pack for 3. La Cerveza Más Fina is written on this Mexican brand's extra bottles. Sam.
Corona.
Corona is right. And now Sam, this is the first time I have a chance to say this, is out of this category. Actually, maybe, no, the second time. You did it before. I just try whatever I can to remind people so that everybody gets the hang of it early in the tournament. Sam is out of this category. So you might as well go for a six-pack while we're doing this. For 4 points, in 1784, this Irish brewery was granted water rights to its nearby channel for 8,975 years, which could be a record. In 1784, this Irish brewery was granted water rights to its, Hanisha?
Guinness.
Guinness. Yeah, that was the little clue in there. Could be a record. 4 points for a slam dunk. Finally, I got a 6-pack for 5. I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer this brand. Julianne?
Is it Dos Equis?
Dos Equis, stay thirsty, my friend. That's correct. At the end of the first half of round 1, we have a very close game. It's gone back and forth at the moment. Agents of Freedom 2, 21, Slam Dunk 15. But believe me, we've been through a lot of these matches. That's practically a tie. Both teams very strong, both teams getting their sea legs. I think you'll enjoy the next category, on bass and drums. I will tell you who is on bass and drums. I want you to name the group. Okay? Here's who was on bass and drums. You tell us the group. For 1 point, in the 1960s, Brian Wilson and Dennis Wilson. In the 1960s, Brian Wilson and Dennis Wilson. 5 seconds. Time. Well, maybe you won't care for this category after all. Dan?
Good Vibrations, Beach Boys.
The Beach Boys. How quickly they forget. How quickly they forget. Well, here, maybe we'll do a little better with these. Here we go, teams. On bass and drums for 2 points. Beginning in 1977, Timothy B. Schmidt and Don Henley. Beginning in 1977, Timothy B. Schmidt and Don Henley. Time.
Come on, guys. The Eagles.
The Eagles. I thought Don Henley would have given it away, but here we go. Well, all right. Now we're getting a little closer to home here. Maybe this will go a little better for 3 points. On bass and drums. Punk rockers with a quote unquote long view. Mike Dirnt and Trey Cool. Julianne.
Green Day?
Now we're in the wheelhouse. Green Day is correct. And Julianne, you should be doubly proud because that was a triple stumper on the Jeopardy program. Nobody got it there.
Okay.
Good job for you. For 4 points, on bass and drums. Living in Paradise City in the 80s, Duff McKagan and Steven Adler. Living in Paradise City in the 80s, Duff McKagan and Steven Adler. 5 seconds. Time. Oh, Dan, Kathleen?
Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses. I believe Duff was Guns and Steven was Roses. Finally, for 5 points, on bass and drums. True rock royalty. Jared and Nathan Followill. True rock royalty. Jared and Nathan Followill. Sam?
Queen?
No.
Damn.
Okay, red team, we finally have a chance for a steal. Red team, you may consult. You'll have 10 seconds to consult. We invite you to all unmute and let us hear your thoughts. I'll repeat it once. True rock royalty, Jared and Nathan Followill.
I have
Those guys.
I have no clue.
Yeah.
No clue.
Julia, anything?
Yeah, I'm not
It's
sure.
okay.
You can pass, by the way.
But if we get it wrong, we obviously we lose points, right?
Yes. Yes. That's where the canker gnaws. That's the fly in the ointment. Anisha?
We don't have anything to pass.
Okay. Correct answer, Kings of Leon. Kings of Leon were the true royalty. But good try there, Sam. And let's go on. Our next category is, watch my fingers, gas up. Jeopardy fans will know that the letters GAS will be in every correct answer. Gas up. Take a guess if you're not sure. For 1 point, these protective devices typically feature a filter like charcoal to capture or alter potential poisons. These, Angelo?
Gas mask.
Gas mask is what we were looking for. That's 1 point for slam dunk. Gas up for 2. It's a piece between machine parts to prevent fluid from escaping. Sam?
Gasket.
It's a gasket. 2 points for Agents of Freedom. Love how the score goes back and forth, back and forth. That's the kind of game we like. For 3 points, gas up. To manipulate events, as Charles Boyer does to Ingrid Bergman to make her think she's crazy. To manipulate, Julianne?
Gaslight.
Gaslight, yes, turned into a verb thereafter. Gaslighting, driving crazy. Well done. Here we go for 4 points. Whelks, that's W-H-E-L-K-S, whelks are these animals whose name is from the Greek for stomach foot. Whelks are these animals whose name is from the Greek for stomach foot. Sam?
Gastropods.
Gastropods is right for 4 points. And Sam, you are out of this last clue because you buzzed in twice. Here we go for 5 points. Gas, in quotes, gas up. The Romans called this historical French region Novem Popularia. The Romans called this historical French region Novem Popularia. Populana, I'm sorry. Novem Populana. 5 seconds. Time. Sam, did you know this one?
No, I didn't.
No? Anybody?
No, sir.
Oh, no fans of the Three Musketeers here, huh? D'Artagnan came from Gascony. Gascony. He was a Gascon. Okay, that's a hard one. Here's our final clue in the first round, where the points are piddling 1 to 5, but we're doing great. We're racking up the points. Here we go. The category is Ode Trip. O-D-E. Ode Trip. Ode Trip. A terrible pun. You'll get it as we go through. For 1 point, Shelley's Ode to the West Wind asks, if winter comes, can this be far behind? Shelley's Ode to the West Wind, Peter?
Spring.
Spring is correct for 1 point. For 2 points, Ode Trip. Lord Byron sadly oded to this Italian city, when thy marble halls are level with the waters. Lord Byron, Sam?
Venice.
Venice, yes, of course, 2 points. For 3 points. For 3 points. Thomas Gray penned an ode on the death of a favorite one of these, quote, drowned in a tub of goldfishes, unquote. Thomas Gray penned an ode on the, Hanisha?
It's an aquarium.
No, incorrect. Okay, it's a break for the blue team. I'll repeat the entire clue, and Peter, you and your team can consult. Thomas Gray penned an ode on the death of a favorite one of these, quote, drowned in a tub of goldfishes, unquote.
Would it be like his dog? I don't know. But
Yeah, I have no idea.
Either a dog or a cat, but no confidence.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
All right, sounds like we'll pass then.
Was that you, Peter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no dog would go into a tub of goldfishes. It was, you should have gone with your gut. Ode on the death of a favorite cat. The cat drowned in the tub of fish. Okay. But that's the way the steals work. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But thank you, teams. You're doing great. For 4 points, remember, it's Ode Trip. This Lord Protector's, quote, return from Ireland, unquote, occasioned an ode by Andrew Marvell. This Lord Protector's, quote, return from Ireland, unquote, occasioned an ode by Andrew Marvell. 5 seconds. Time, that's tough. Dan, Kathleen, anybody want to take a guess for no points?
Not I.
Who was the Lord Protector who went to Ireland? The beloved or notorious, depending on your point of view, Oliver Cromwell. Oliver Cromwell is what we were looking for. Finally, for 5 points, in our last clue in this first round, odes written by John Keats include 1, 2 this season. Odes by John Keats include 1, 2 this season. Ode to, 5 seconds. You guess you had 4 to choose from. Actually, only 3 because we used spring earlier. Time. He wrote Ode to Autumn, but nothing to be ashamed of because that was a triple stumper on the show. So even the Jeopardy contestants didn't know it. Okay. Not only do we have a very close score, Agents of Freedom 2, 31, Slam Dunk 13, but we have the possibility of a tie because both teams have an odd score. We'll keep that in mind as we go to a board of all even questions from 2 to 10 points. So as they like to say on the show, the points are doubled and the scores can really change. You're doing great, teams. Keep up that concentration. Buzz in as soon as you think you know. Our first category for 2 to 10 points is Nashville Geographic. Nashville Geographic. Here we go. Good luck, teams, for 2 points. If you don't know that Nashville lies on this river, there must be a gap in your memory. If you don't know that Nashville lies on this river, there must be a gap in your memory. 5 seconds. Anisha.
What's Cumberland?
The Cumberland Gap is right. The Cumberland River. That's 2 points for slam dunk. Well done. 4 points, Nashville Geographic. This name of a 22,500 acre lake near Nashville is also Andrew Jackson's nickname. This name of a 22,000, Peter?
Stonewall?
No, incorrect. Break for the red team. I'll repeat the entire question. Here you go, Tanisha and team. This name of a 22,500 acre lake near Nashville is also Andrew Jackson's nickname. You may consult.
Any ideas, guys? Is it the Hickory Lake? Angela, Rupali,
Rock River? I'm not sure, but I'm not confident.
Okay, I think it's the Hickory Lake, but I'm not 100% sure. So shall we go with Hickory Lake?
Yep, let's go with it.
Okay.
Yep.
All right then. Is it the Hickory Lake?
I'm sorry, I can't accept that. In the double Jeopardy round, we have to be exact. His nickname was Old Hickory. The name of the lake is Old Hickory. Okay, so that's a deduction, but that's okay. Plenty of points available in this round. Here we go, back to Nashville Geographic. Quit monkeying around if you want to catch the last train to this Tennessee city 40 miles from Nashville. Quit monkeying around if you want to catch the last train to this Tennessee city 40 miles from Nashville. Anisha.
Was it Frothy Monkey?
No, incorrect. Break for the blue team. I'll repeat the clue. Quit monkeying around if you want to catch the last train to this Tennessee city 40 miles from Nashville. Peter, you and your team may consult.
I have no idea, guys.
Yeah. 40 miles isn't that far. So I don't think it's Memphis. I don't know. Knoxville. I don't know.
Something with a monkey. So like
Yeah.
Gorillaville.
It's Gorillaville. That should be it. Yeah, I don't know.
No idea.
All right, we're gonna pass.
Well, if you guys didn't know Guns N' Roses, you
Last
certainly
Train.
remember the monkey.
Come
And
on, guys.
Clarksville.
Last Train
We're
to
gonna have to do a music education thing for TPT.
Clarksville, the last train to Clarksville. That's the monkey clue. Okay, that's all right. That's what makes this fun. You never know what people will know or won't. Here we go for 10 points. These 10 pointers can really make a difference. For 10 points, Nashville Geographic. Nashville's Centennial Park on West End Avenue sports a full-size replica of this, Sam?
The Parthenon.
This Athenian temple is correct. 10 points, the Parthenon. Okay. Now, these next clues are very brief, so be ready to jump in if you are any good at long-running Broadway show titles. Long-running Broadway show titles for 2 points. Arsenic and this. Peter.
Lace.
Incorrect. Red team. Arsenic and this.
Old lace. Guys, do you think that?
Is that your final answer?
Any other guesses, guys?
I haven't gone to a Broadway show yet, so I couldn't know.
I think we can go with old lace.
Old lace? Yeah. Okay, that's a final answer.
Arsenic and Old Lace is the title, yes. And you wouldn't have gone to this one. It opened in 1941. I might have gone. No. Even I'm not that old. All right, here we go. That's 2 points for you. By the way, these steals don't count for buzzing, the buzzing quota. Okay, for 4 points. Barefoot here. Barefoot, Sam?
In the park.
Barefoot in the Park for 4 points, getting back for the blue team. Long-running Broadway show titles for 6. His Cafe. His Cafe. 5 seconds. Anisha.
Smoky Joe's Cafe?
Smoky Joe's Cafe is right for 6 points. You never see, I was for sure nobody would get that one, and there you go. Well done. It's Smoky Joe's Cafe. Great show. Here we go for 8 points. Long-running Broadway show titles. These are free. These are free. 5 seconds. Time. Dan, Kathleen, remember the play, the movie?
Nope.
About a young blind boy who falls in love with a young free spirit, and they sang a song called Butterflies Are Free. Butterflies are free. Finally, for 10 points. Sugar these. Sugar these. I'm sorry, sugar is in quotes. Sugar these. Anisha.
Is it Sugar Babies?
How do you get these? I was sure nobody would get that. Sugar Babies is right. It was a big hit review of Burlesque, Mickey Rooney and Ann Miller. Great job. Sugar Babies is correct. Okay, here we go. Well done. That, by the way, and I'm not just astonished, that was a triple stumper on the show. Nobody on Jeopardy knew that one. So kudos to you. And you've tightened the score quite a bit.
It
Here
was
we go.
just a guess, yeah. It was just a guess. Yeah.
It's funny what sticks in your head. Sugar Babies. There you go. Okay, a little more serious now. Biographies. Biographies. For 2 points. Marquis James' 1929 biography, The Raven, was the story of this president of Texas, not Edgar Allan Poe. Marquis James' 1929 biography, The Raven, was the story of this president of Texas, not Edgar Allan Poe. 5 seconds. Time. Sam, I thought you might get this. Your namesake, Sam Houston. Sam Houston. Correct. Okay. Here we go. 4 points. Biographies. Norman Mailer wrote a biography of this screen goddess, and the two of them shared the July 16th, 1973 cover of Time. Norman Mailer wrote a biography of this screen goddess, and the two of them shared the July 16th, 1973 cover of Time. 5 seconds. Time. Dan, Kathleen? Is anybody there? No? No. Well, Norman Mailer wrote a beautiful picture book, biography of Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe. Very controversial. Okay, for 8 points, biographies. Hertha Pauley's 1942 biography of this man was subtitled, this is for 6 points now, 6 points. Hertha Pauley's 1942 biography of this man was subtitled Dynamite King, Architect of Peace. Hertha Pauley's 1942 biography. Peter?
A Nobel.
Alfred Nobel is correct for 6 points. For 8 points. 1987's Cory, Profile of a President, is a biography of this leader of the Philippines. 1987's Cory, Profile of a President, is a biography of this leader of the Philippines. Five seconds. Time. Cory or Corazon Aquino is what we were looking for. Corazon Aquino. Finally, for 10 points on biographies, Einhard served this ruler for 23 years and wrote a 9th century biography of him entitled Vita Caroli Magni. Einhard served this ruler for 23 years and wrote a 9th century biography of him titled Vita Caroli Magni. 5 seconds. Time. Dan, Kathleen?
No idea.
No. Vita, the life of. Caroli Magna is Charlemagne, Charles the Great. Caroli Magni is Charlemagne. Okay. At the end of the third quarter, if you like, the half of the second round, we have Agents of Freedom 2, 45, Slam Dunk 23, but we still have 15 clues left, lots of points. Get ready to jump in. I think you'll like this next category. I truly do. It's called Blank of Blank. Blank of Blank. A correct answer might be like leg of lamb. Okay, it's not, I checked, but it would be like leg of lamb. Here we go for 2 points. Blank of blank. In football, it's the boundary between the teams prior to the snap of the ball. In football, Peter?
Line of scrimmage.
Line of scrimmage is right for 2 points. Blank of blank for 4. Had Julius Caesar heeded the warning about this day, he might have survived it. Sam?
Ides of March.
The Ides of March is right for 4 points. Blank of blank for 6. Similes, metaphors, and personification, for example. Similes, metaphors, and personification, for example? Sam?
Figures of speech.
They are figures of speech. Blank of blank. That's 6 points. You're out of this category. Let's see if that affects the score. For 8 points. Made from gypsum, this white powder mixed with water is used in sculpture to make, Julianne?
Plaster of Paris.
Plaster of Paris is the blank of blank. That's correct for 8 points. And finally, for 10 points. This island lies between England and Ireland and about 20 miles south of Scotland. This, Rupali.
Isles of Wight.
That's incorrect. That was the wrong answer on the show as well. So we give it over to the blue team to consult. This island lies between England and Ireland and about 20 miles south of Scotland. Peter, consult, and you may answer or pass.
Do you guys know?
I don't. It's not ringing a bell.
I thought it was Isle of Wight or Wright or something similar to that, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah.
I'm gonna
Sounds like
skip
we're gonna.
10-pointer.
Yeah, we'll pass on this one.
I was hoping a television fan might guess the Isle of Lucy, but it is not the Isle of Lucy. It is the Isle of Man. The Isle of Man is what we were looking for. People who live there are called Manx, by the way, hence Manx cats. Okay. Next, we have Flora of Central America, who's not a, I'm not going to say it. Flora of Central America is the category. Here we go. Okay. Mangroves are widely used in coastal reclamation. With their tolerance of salt water and arching roots that trap soil, they're ideal for helping shoreline resist this process, from Latin for to gnaw. Julianne?
Erosion.
Erosion is right for 2 points. I should have noted, this is one of those categories where they go on because it's a visual for the people at home to look at, but we don't have visuals, so you're just gonna have to bear with me. I will try to emphasize where the clue comes. Julianne picked it up. Well done, Julianne, for 2 points. For 4 points, Flora of Central America. Because the majestic Saba tree connected the earth and the heavens, in the mythology of this Central American people, the Saba is still sacred to their descendants. Because the majestic Saba tree connected the earth and the heavens in the mythology of this Central American people, the Saba is still sacred to their descendants. 5 seconds. Nobody? Time? Dan, Kathleen?
No idea.
No, they were the Mayans. The Mayans is what they were looking for. Okay, Flora of Central America for 6. The Aristolochia vine's foul odor, attracts insects that are then trapped alive inside the flower and later released with a coating of this substance vital to the plant's reproduction. The Aristolochia vine's foul odor attracts insects that are then trapped alive inside the flower and later released with a coating of this substance vital to the plant's reproduction. 5 seconds. Julianne?
Pollen.
Yeah, after all that, the answer is pollen. That's right. You were out of this category, Julianne, and it's a pity because you seem to be able to hang in there through this incredibly stupid verbiage, but perhaps your team will pick up. Here you go, everybody but Julianne, for the 8-point clue. In damp tropical soils, huge spreading root systems help trees resist toppling. Such roots are called these, like exterior projecting supports of a building. In damp tropical soils, huge spreading root systems help trees resist toppling. Such roots are called these, like exterior projecting supports of a building. Time? I thought maybe with all the coverage of Notre Dame, this might have come to you. They are known as buttresses, buttresses. But again, with all this verbiage, it's very, very difficult to figure out what the heck they're asking. But here we go for the 10-point clue. A particular species of fig gets this deadly name because it starts as a seed that lands atop another tree. The fig sends its roots downward, enveloping and choking the host tree. A particular species of fig gets this deadly name because it starts as a seed that lands atop another tree. The fig sends its roots downward, enveloping and choking the host tree. Okay, time. It is known as the strangler fig. The strangler fig, who I believe dated flora of Central America at one point. Strangler fig, he was a wrestler. Our final category, words from Arabic. Words from Arabic. Good luck, teams, for 2 points. Derived from the Arabic Sawahil, S-A-W-A-H-I-L, meaning of the coasts. It's a language on the African continent. Sam?
Swahili.
Swahili is right for 2 points. Words from Arabic for 4. If you don't know that this popular beverage comes from the Arabic kawa, Q-A-H-W-A-H, you get 2 lumps, not 1. If you don't know that this popular beverage comes from the Arabic kawa, Q-A-H-W-A-H, Sam?
Coffee.
Coffee. You did your duty for the team proud, Sam. You got the first 2 clues. You're out of the category, but you've done good. Here we go for 6 points in words from Arabic. This maternal term comes from the Arabic for resin and might be heard when talking about King Tut. This maternal term comes from the Arabic for resin and might be heard talking about King Tut. Peter.
Mummy?
Mummy is correct. That's the maternal term, mummy. For 8 points. The fragrant name of this Aladdin princess comes from an Arabic word. Julianne?
Jasmine?
Jasmine is right for 8 points. And finally, for 10 points, words from Arabic. We've hit bottom with this 5-letter word from the Arabic for opposite the zenith. We've hit bottom with this 5-letter word from the Arabic for opposite the zenith. Time. Dan? 5-letter word for opposite of the zenith? Too late, Hanisha.
No, I don't got it.
It is nadir, N-A-D-I-R. Nadir is the word. Well, the teams were pretty close at the break, but Agents of Freedom 2 ran off with it in the second round, in the second half. Final score 93-13. Remember, teams, this is a double elimination tournament. So both teams will come back and fight again and play again. And I hope you had a good time. We certainly did. We appreciated everybody's getting all the bells and whistles right, and the spirit was good, and everybody was just great. So thank you all so much. Thank you, Dan and Kathleen. That's the end of match 1, and congratulations to both teams, but especially to Agents of Freedom 2, which has a win under their belt. Okay, everybody, enjoy the rest of your day. We'll see you again soon.